Hi, good people. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope everything is good with you. Okay, let me just say I will use words not intending to offend people, but to describe my point of view and how I see things. Take what resonate with you and what does not resonate with you, put it on the shelf or throw it away. YouTube, the rest is in the back of the video. Now, I want to talk about the sun daily cycle. Many of you probably know what I'm about to say, or maybe not. So, here, the sun cycles are the same as the time. So, you got 6 a.m., you got 12 noon, you got 6 p.m., and then you got 12 midnight. Now, the Army used the Army time, and they start at 0600 to 2400. So 0600 starts at AM and 2400 ends at midnight. So they use the day and night, they put it together as 24 hours. Day and night is not together. There are 12 hours in a day and 12 hours in a night, and it's actually set. It's like when you go into an apartment, you turn on the lights and you turn the lights off. It's set. That's how it is in this earth. The day of the 12 hours is set, and the night of the 12 hours is set. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Now, this may, what I'm about to say about the time, you may know or you may not know. Now, 6 a.m. Is sunrise, and that will be what they call the deity Horus, which means hours, and it sets in the east. We're in the east, okay, and then uh, when you go to 12 noon, 12 noon is Ra, and that would be in the south, uh, which would be summer. So these are the deities that you're calling something, and they're not. They just titles for the sun. 6 p.m. is Set and Satan, Set and Satan, and that's the fall, and it sets in the west. So you go to midnight. Midnight is Osiris, and Osiris is midnight, and that's in the north. And I thought it was pretty interesting uh, that the sun was called those titles. I told you some time ago, and I think I said it quite a few times, that there was a period when there was people in the earth, and then they start gazing at uh, the upper atmosphere, and watching the stars and all that. And then there was a set of people that came along and started naming them, and people started just naming everything, and so here we are today thinking that they were deities. No, they wasn't deities. What we got down here is demons, and we got only one creator. Okay, and I told you that the magnetic field is keeping us in, and nobody can get out. The demons reside all over the place, but where the moon is. Now, As I told you, the army is, they work off a 24-hour time span. And I told you about the compass, which really is the clock, because you got Horus is spring, and you got the Most High is summer, and then you got autumn is and the fall, which is set in Satan, and then you got midnight, which is Osiris, which is the north. Told you about that. Okay, I'm gonna give you some symbolism. The east, 6 a.m. Uh, the rising sun is associated with new beginnings, clarity, and birth in the spring. Nature awakens, and so does the spirit. The esoteric Horus, the god of the sky. The reason why I gave you the god of the sky, because Horus is the actual sun. You ever seen the pictures of the um uh the Jesus, and behind Jesus is a the picture that they created of Jesus, and behind Jesus the sun is behind it. That's because they want you to think that Jesus represents the sun. Jesus is the sun. The Christ is the sun. That's what they want you, because it's symbolism. Um the south, which is 12 p.m., which is Ra, the most high, summertime. The midday sun is at its peak, represent the height of power, vitality, energy, and the sun is at its most intense. Now, the Most High radiates the full power, symbolizing clarity, illumination, enlightenment. This is the time for flourishing, prosperity, and divine influence. West, which is 6 p.m., that's set in Satan, which is autumn or fall. The sun sets, transitioning from one light to dark, associated with decay, ending, reflection. In autumn, nature prepares for winter, letting go of excess. Set or Satan is the god of chaos, destruction, opposition. The setting sun symbolizes the descent into darkness, the need to introspection, and facing challenges before transformation. North, 12 a.m., Osiris, winter, midnight, the deepest part of darkness. The winter season represents death, dormancy, dormancy, and the unknown. Osiris is the god of death, rebirth, symbolizing spiritual renewal after a period of darkness. Midnight represents hidden knowledge and the potential for transformation and resurrection. And by the way, the word resurrection means erection, but I'll get into that when I do the video about words. Um, the seasonal symbolization. Spring is harvest, new beginning, awakens, growth. Summer is raw, which is noon, peak power, clarity, and vitality. Autumn is set and Satan, ending, transitioning. Winter is Osiris, which is 12 a.m., darkness, hidden knowledge. Now, the diagram that I put on here in the charts represents the sun's full cycle, linking each time of day and season to a corresponding direction on the compass, and there is esoteric meaning through the gods and deities associated with each phase. Now, they're talking gods and they're talking deity, but that's just a title. It's just a title. Those are titles. Like, you ever heard a guy name their car Sally, Betsy, Sue? Oh, my Betsy, she's good now. Think about it. Pay attention. Now, let's see here. All right. Now, the Bible contains numerous references to the sun, and its movement and cycles are often used symbolically. I'm sorry. I guess I'm tired. Reference to the sun cycles, creation, in Genesis 1:14 to 19. And God said, "Let there be lights in the vault of the sky." We're in a vault in the sky to separate the day from the night. That right there should let you know there's 12 hours because day and night is separated. Okay? And let them serve as a sign to mark sacred times and days and years. And let them be lights in the vault of the sky to give lights on the earth. And it was so. God made two great lights, the greater light to govern the day, and lesser night, um, the lesser light to govern the night. And he made the stars. Now we already know how that happened. Now God set them in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth, to govern the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness. Moreover, God saw that it was good. The esoteric, the sun and moon, are presented as divine creation, marking time, days, years, season, and symbols of light and darkness. The sun governs the day and can represent spiritual enlightenment, while the moon governs the night and often represent reflection of the hidden aspects of life. Um, anyway, I'll talk about that at another point. Okay, in Psalms 19, 4 through 6 says, God has pitched a tent for the sun in the heaven. It is like a bridegroom coming out of the chambers like a champion, rejoicing to run its course. It rises at one end of the heaven and make its circuit to the other. Nothing is deprived of its warmth. Now, keep in mind, heaven is not like the first heaven starts with space. It means space. It's not talking about a place that we cannot see. You see, it's just space. The sun is likened to a bridegroom or a champion, suggesting an energy of power, vitality, and movement. The sun daily cycle, it rises and sets, can represent spiritual renewal of a journey of growth, and its warmth and light symbolizes the presence of divine illumination and guidance. Ecclesiastic 1:5. The sun rises and the sun sets and hurries back to where it rises. This verse emphasizes the cycle nature of time, showing that even the sun follows an external and repetitive cycle. In a metaphorical sense, this can represent constant nature of spirit and truth, or cycles of birth, death, and rebirth that are fundamental to human existence. Malachi 4:2. But if you who reveres my name, the Son of Righteousness, that's the SUN of righteousness, will rise with healing in its rays, as you will go and frolic like well fed calves. Esoteric, the Son of Righteousness, is often interpreted as a metaphor for divine justice, enlightenment, or Christ. There were many, but Christ represents what? Christ represents the inside of you in the middle, sits right in the middle. The rising of the sun symbolize the bringing of spiritual healing, light and warmth into the lives of those who follow divine principles. This speaks to spiritual awakening and strength, where the sun represents divine truth of Christ's light. Now Matthew 5:45. He causes his sun to rise on the evil and the good, and sends rain on the righteous and the unrighteous. The esoteric of that, the sun symbolizes God's impartial grace and love. It shines on both the good and the evil, emphasizing that the divine favor, light, truth, and warmth are available to all, regardless of their action, as a form of universal compassion and equality. Now, light and darkness. The sun cycle is often seen as a metaphor to spiritual enlightenment versus ignorance. The rising sun symbolizes the arrival of divine knowledge, whereas the setting sun represents the absence of congealment of divine truth. The sun cycle could signify the continuous journey from ignorance to knowledge and spiritual growth. Divine order. The sun is precise and predictable. Cycles can represent divine order and unchanging nature of God's will, just as sun cycle never falls. The faithfulness of God's promise and timing are assured. I just wanted to, well, let me just finish this up. The universal accessibility of divine light. In Matthew 5:45, the sun's impartiality in shining on the righteous and the unrighteous represent the universal availability of divine grace and enlightenment. No one is beyond the reach of God's love and light, which shines on all people, regardless of their moral standing. In summary, while the Bible does not give a detailed scientific account of the sun cycle, it uses the sun as a metaphor for spiritual enlightenment, divine order, healing, and cycle nature of existence. The rising and setting of the sun symbolizes God's constant present, the journey from darkness to light, and the healing and renewal that come with spiritual growth. Hopefully, you got what I was trying to point out, good people. Everything that I've read is in the flip charts. And if you want to add to it, please do so. Thank you. Have a good night.